Hey guys, welcome to Eat with Intention. I'm your host, Cassandra Bodzak, and today we are talking about 3 ways to combat stress or emotional snacking. And so I'm going to take you through 3 really common scenarios and give you some tools in each scenario about how you can really satiate your true craving, which is to relax, not to snack. Okay, so stressful, emotional snacking scenario 1. You are at work. So you're at the office, you have a lot on your plate, you have a long ass to-do list to get done, and you are feeling so stressed. So you're really tempted to either go take your break and grab a latte and maybe a cookie, or you're gonna dive into the office candy jar, or maybe you're just gonna go rummaging around for something to eat to just relieve the pressure from your workday. So here's a couple tools that you can use. Number 1 is use that mini break. You know, a lot of us don't feel guilty if we're going to say, oh, I'm going to take 5 and get a latte, right? It's kind of like the new like smoking break, right? So many, because nobody really smokes anymore, but you can still take that 5 minutes. In fact, I think those 5-minute breaks are so vital for our mental well-being and for our productivity. So when you're feeling stressed, taking a 5-minute break, I love putting on some upbeat, positive music to get me into a different headspace and actually going for a walk. So take a walk around the block. You know, if you want to even just take a walk around the office, depending on how large your office is, it's so important. Movement and music are 2 things that can shift your state really, really fast. And so oftentimes when we get stuck in the same position, that also breeds more stress and more like craving for that variety that we search for in a sweet treat instead of in a self-care ritual. So take a walk, put on some good tunes. If you can't take a walk, even just putting some upbeat, fun music in your headphones and allowing yourself to get some movement in at your desk. So if you want to be subtle about it, even just moving your feet up and down, doing something even borderline fidgety can actually just help shake your energy up. The other option is to take some nice deep breaths. So it actually takes us way shorter than we think it does to change our state with our breath. And so oftentimes if we're at our desk, we're at work, we don't necessarily feel like we could meditate. Although I will say I've had instances where I just like went in my car for 10 minutes and meditated. So that's an option. But just putting both of your feet down on the floor and taking that minute, putting your palms facing up, or if you need to get grounded, put them facing down, and just allowing yourself to take 1 minute of nice breathing. So a breath that I really recommend for releasing stress and shifting your mood is just in on a 4 count through your nose, out on a 4 count through your mouth. So just in 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. In 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're just breathing in your nose to a 4 count, breathing out on a 4 count. It's super simple, but if you do this for 1 minute, you can set like a little alarm for 1 minute if you want to time yourself that way. You will feel like you're in a completely different headspace to face the rest of your day, and you'll be surprised how that craving for that cookie or that coffee dissipates once you actually get down to the real need, what you're truly searching for. Okay, so the next all too common scenario is after a long day at work. You're leaving the office or you're leaving your home or wherever you co-work from, and you just really want to kind of blow up some steam. You want to shift gears. And so oftentimes that can again take the place of us going to happy hour and eating some fried appetizers or drinking too much alcohol, or sometimes it's grabbing that cupcake at the bakery on the way home, or having a cookie to congratulate us for finishing our stressful day. But again, there is a self-care solution for this that can help you make that transition in a more positive way. So again, I like to, with my clients, talk about rigging yourself for success. You have to think about what your current habits are. So it's going to be a little bit different if you're working from home versus if you're commuting back from an office. So if there's a particular cafe that you stop by, or a particular bar you go for happy hour, maybe it's if you're craving that relaxation and that connection after a long day, it's setting up a tea date with a girlfriend, or a mani-pedi date with a girlfriend, where you're doing something that's actually really nourishing for you and you have something to look forward to. If you're someone that craves that socialization and that camaraderie after a long day at work, then plan ahead, rig yourself for success, make a fun plan with a friend. Another thing that I really love doing is, if you know that you're having one of those stressful days where you're going to want to reach for some emotional comfort food, is to plan ahead. Look at your gym schedule. See, is there a restorative yoga class? Is there a meditation class? You may not, after a long day at work and feeling a lot of stress, want to go to an intense workout class. But if you find something that feels juicy and nourishing, like a sound bath or restorative yoga, then again, it allows you to have something to look forward to and to help you make that transition and actually handle the craving that you're feeling, which is really just to turn yourself off and to relax after a stressful day. If you're at home, I also love having a time where I stop working, and for me, it's cooking, it's putting on some music, it's allowing myself to not have my cell phone on me while I'm in the kitchen and just cooking a really beautiful meal, or doing some restorative yoga in my living room. Find, even if you go to, at most mani-pedi places, you can get a 10-minute massage for $10. This kind of self-care doesn't have to be super expensive, but coming up with that thing, once again, that's actually fueling your genuine craving. So is that craving to socialize? Is that craving to relax? Is that craving to turn off? Maybe it's finding a podcast that you really love listening to on your train ride home, or an audiobook that maybe has absolutely nothing to do with your industry that you can turn on in your commute home, that helps put you into that nourishing, taking care of yourself vibe. Hey guys, all right, we have Carl here, who is going to help us with this last one. Carl, are you the master of cuddling up? Carl is the master of taking care of himself and being very comfortable at all times. So the last thing that I see over and over again with my clients, because I always work with what I call Wonder Women that are doing big things in the world, really busy during the day, have a lot of different obligations, and then they really crave relaxing at night. It's completely normal for us to want to wind down, get back into our feminine energy. And so often we reach for the dark chocolate, we reach for that glass of red wine, we reach for that sweet to really help us shift gears. And so this is probably the most common ritual that I've created with all of the women that I work with, is really having a nighttime ritual that helps you switch into your feminine. So something as simple as, taking a nice Epsom salt bath at night, or even just a shower where you're lighting candles, you're dimming the lights, you're using essential oils, really making it beautiful and nourishing and feminine is super important, because that is what you're truly craving right now. So if it's a night where you don't have time to take a shower or a bath, then even just cuddling up. I love just grabbing, I have all these like super soft blankets on my couch, reading a nice book, having a nice glass of herbal tea, and just having that moment once again where I just relax and allow myself to sink into something more nourishing. Journaling is also a great self-care practice. This is where it's fun to, there's a ton of different guided meditations on YouTube you can use to help you just shift gears. If you have sound baths you can listen to, just taking that moment. For so many of us, it becomes sitting in front of the TV and mindlessly eating something, or having that glass of wine, or having that chocolate, and really needing that to kind of wind down for the night. And when you create a nice ritual, you create something that genuinely nourishes you from a deep place. Oftentimes, a lot of us feel like everybody gets us throughout the day, like we're handling everybody else's to-do list. So really giving yourself that moment to show up for yourself at night in a way, perhaps maybe for you it is writing, perhaps maybe for you it's working on a creative project or painting. I love collaging. Things that help soothe me are I love, knitting or crocheting, doing things like that. That are not work related, that put you back in your creative zone, put you back in your feminine, and help you really relax. And creating that as an ongoing ritual is super helpful in nixing those nighttime snack urges, because then you get into the zone and you feel really feminine and relaxed, and it helps you sleep better at night as well. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to use any of these self-care rituals to tackle your emotional snacking. And if you have any other questions on emotional eating or how I can help you, please leave it in the comments below. I love creating videos that directly help something that you're facing right now. And of course, please subscribe so that you don't miss a video, and give us a thumbs up if you like this video. It means the world to me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.